Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of today. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. Russian forces maintain multi-axis pressure, emphasizing attrition of Ukrainian reserves, degradation of EW, counter-battery capabilities, and incremental tactical gains rather than rapid maneuver. The destruction of EW assets and counter-battery radars indicates an effort to reduce Ukrainian sensing and fire direction capacity, shaping conditions for future operational breakthroughs. Logistics strikes across 136 locations suggest a deliberate campaign targeting sustainment nodes, further constraining Ukrainian operational tempo. Territorial advances, though limited, point to cumulative pressure potentially dictating the pace and direction of winter operations.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Colonel Oguntoye, let's begin with the overall picture. What defined the battlefield on December 1st, 2025?
December 1st was characterized by sustained, synchronized pressure across all Russian operational groupings. What we're seeing is the continuation of a grinding, attrition-based operational design, one that focuses on incremental territorial improvement combined with systematic degradation of Ukrainian reserves, artillery, logistics hubs, and electronic warfare components. Russian forces applied force in layers, direct ground engagements, precision fires, aviation, and unmanned systems. And across the theater, there was notable emphasis on striking Ukrainian infrastructure tied to sustainment, fuel storage, drone launch sites, energy facilities supporting military operations. That tells us the Russians are shaping the battle space for winter and attempting to constrict mobility and operational reach on the Ukrainian side.
Let's break it down sector by sector. Starting in the north, what happened along the Sumy and Kharkiv axis?
In the north, Russian North Grouping units targeted several Ukrainian brigades across the Sumy region, mechanized, airborne storm, and territorial defense. Engagements near Sadki, Konditovka, Ryazivka, Berilovka, Khotin, and Novosich were especially active. Here, Russian forces inflicted heavy personnel losses and disabled various vehicles and an artillery gun. What stands out is the continuity of pressure on Ukrainian formations trying to reinforce the Kharkiv defensive arc. The tactical aim is straightforward: prevent Ukrainian units from consolidating or building a stable defensive line before winter limits maneuver.
So would you say the Russians are shaping conditions rather than trying to break through?
Absolutely. These actions are preparatory. Instead of rapid advances, the Russians are eroding manpower, equipment, and morale, forcing Ukraine to commit reserves prematurely. It's methodical, not impulsive.
Moving west, what developments occurred around the Kupiansk-Lyman corridor?
The West Grouping reported improved tactical positions across Kupiansk-Uzlovoy, Monokinovka, Blagodotavka, Osinovo, and further south toward Drobashevo and Yereveya. The significant element here is the destruction of multiple Ukrainian EW stations and a US-made and /TPQ-50 counter-battery radar. This is doctrinally important. EW and radar systems allow Ukraine to detect artillery, direct fires, and defend against UAVs. Removing these systems isn't merely tactical, it undermines the Ukrainian ability to sense the battle space. The loss of ammunition depots further compounds the issue by directly hampering their rate of fire.
Does this shift the artillery balance locally?
Yes. Artillery parity hinges on sensing, ammunition flow, and counter-battery survivability. Russia struck all three elements in this sector.
Let's shift south. Russian forces claim to have liberated Klinovo. What's the significance?
Klinovo sits on a seam between Ukrainian defensive belts. Securing it allows Russian units to anchor a forward staging position for additional pushes toward Kramatorsk and Slaviansk. The Russians also destroyed U.S. origin platforms such as Stryker and M113 APCs, which suggests they are continuing to target Western-supplied mobility assets before they can be concentrated for counterattacks.
Is this the beginning of a deeper push or just consolidation?
It's staged consolidation. The Russians are probing for weak points, and if the Ukrainians overstretch to plug the gap, Russia may escalate the tempo.
The center sector had some of the heaviest reported losses for Ukraine. What happened there?
Yes. Russian center grouping forces improved their forward line and engaged a remarkable diversity of Ukrainian units: mechanized, airborne, air assault, storm, territorial defense, National Guard, and even Marine infantry brigades. Nearly 480 Ukrainian personnel were reported lost in this single sector. This breadth tells us the Ukrainians are committing a mix of unit types to hold the line, indicating strain and possibly insufficient reserves. When a force starts blending unit roles that should normally be separate, it's a sign they're trying to patch gaps faster than they can rotate units.
What about Zaporizhia and the Eastern Axis?
The East grouping captured more favorable terrain around Dobropoli, Varvarovka, and Guliapol. These areas sit along key defensive ridges and road networks. Terrain improvement here is subtle but operationally meaningful, allowing better artillery placement and UAV overwatch. Ukrainian losses continue to mount, along with the destruction of material storage.
Finally, how did the Dnipro grouping operate?
The Dnipro grouping delivered targeted strikes against mechanized and coastal defense elements near Orkhov, Lukyanovskoye, and Kazatskoye. These are choke points in Ukraine's ability to move forces north-south along the river axis. Eliminating personnel and vehicles here helps isolate Ukrainian pockets and disrupt reinforcement pathways.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. Across all sectors, Russian forces continued an attritional, systems disruption campaign. The destruction of EW systems, radars, depots, and energy infrastructure indicates an effort to blind, starve, and constrict Ukrainian operational reach. Territorial gains remain incremental rather than sweeping, but they are cumulative. The winter season will amplify logistical constraints. Ukraine will feel the impact first if depot losses and energy strikes limit mobility and sustainment. Russia appears focused on shaping conditions for decisive operations early in 2026, not immediate breakthroughs.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive Frontline updates from commanders in theater.